Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, so am I. My name is Agnes. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be working on the incredible Aleana Practice hand. Yes, that's right, this is not a real hand. You would almost think it was. It's so realistic. This is my first time working on it as I just recently got it. So if you are interested and want to know more about it, my next video will be up next week on Thursday or Friday, where I will be unboxing the amazing Aleana hand and giving you my first impressions on it. As many of you will know, I have recently had an operation on my spine and therefore I am currently unable to work or see my clients. So the Aleana hand has been ideal as I have to rest my back loads. So it's allowed me to create content for YouTube and to keep going back to it in my own time. This client's got time. So I filmed this video over 3 days and I spent a further 3 days editing the 8 hours worth of footage to get it down to a watchable 20-minute video. So I've worked super hard on this, but I've had so much fun. I hate a long introduction, but before I get into this, I just want to say a special thank you to all my new subscribers. I am absolutely overwhelmed at the response to my post on the Gel Bottle community group on Facebook. Thank you for taking the time to read it, to watch my videos, and for subscribing. Almost 100 of you subscribed in just a few days. I'm so grateful. So I wanted to really push myself for this video today. I've been seeing loads of intricate cartoon nail art going around on Instagram and Pinterest, or perhaps it's the algorithm giving me more of what I've been viewing. Anyways, I want to give it a go. I want to take on a challenge. So here I am. I'm going to do a full set of, well, 5 nails of SpongeBob nail art. Okay, so I've done like a quick plan of action sketch thing. So we're going to do ombres on the background of each nail. They're all going to be different colours. Index nail is going to have Patrick Star. He's going to be looking at Squidward in the middle nail, who's going to be really grumpy. SpongeBob on the ring nail, who's going to be looking at Squidward all happy, and Pinky is going to be Plankton, who's just Plankton. The thumb is going to be Gary the snail, and if I've got space on the thumb and the pinky nail, I'm going to add some jellyfish or some flowers, but I think I'll do some flowers. I've already gone ahead and prepped these nails. If you want to see how I do that, I show it in the Aleana hand unboxing video. I'm going in with the Gel Bottle's Blue Wave on the index and the ring finger. I'm bringing it about 3/4 of the way down the nail, and then I'm mixing together OMBRE and June to make the lightest shade of pink. It's almost off-white, and I'm applying that on the middle, pinky and thumbnail. Again, 3/4 of the way down the nail. Using the Gel Bottle's ombre brush, I'm pulling the rest of the gel polish down to the tip of the nail, and I want very little to no gel polish at the tips. I'm keeping my application very thin because I want to build this up as I go. I'm going to flash cure that for about 10 seconds, and then I'm going to mix together porcelain with double denim. I'm going to apply that about halfway up the nail, and then I'm going to blend it up with the ombre brush. I'm going to do the same for the rest of the nails. I'm using Clueless for the middle nail. I'm using Peach Shades for the ring fingernail, and I'm going to be using Blue Wave on the pinky. I'm going to use the Peach Shades on the thumb as well. I'm going to blend that up and then cure that for 10 seconds. Going in with the second coat now, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this light pink to peach combination. The colours just blend so well. Going to let that fully cure, and then I'm going in with a third coat. I did need to build this colour up. I'm flash curing that for 10 seconds, and then I'm going in with the second coat of the Peach Shades. Isn't she just gorgeous? I'm going to fully cure that now because we're done with this nail, and I'm going to second coat the other nails. I'm going to stop blabbing now, and I'm going to leave you to enjoy this video. If you do want to skip forwards, however, you can use the timeline down below. The chapters should all be on there, and I'll be back when I start painting the designs. Using the Gel Bottle's matte top coat, I'm going to top coat these nails. The matte will give me a perfect canvas to work on. Fully cure that for 60 seconds and we're ready to go. I'm dispensing a little bit of Peony and Dahlia on my palette to create Patrick's skin tone, and I'm adding a touch of Naked to kind of dull it down a little bit. I start to map out where his head is, then his legs, and then his arms, and I start to build on those little points, just making him bigger. I've got my reference picture in front of me that I keep referring back to. I'm basically painting Patrick naked, and then I'm going to paint his trousers on top. I'm going to pop him in a lamp to cure, and then I'm going in with Pavilion Garden mixed with a little bit of Daisy, which is white, to get the perfect colour of his trousers, which now looking back at it is not quite the right colour, but we're just going to roll with it. I'm going to cure the trousers, and then I'm doing a second coat of the green, pop him back in my flash cure light, and then we're going to do some eyes on him. Again, starting small and then building them up till they look right. Then I'm going in with Candy, it's the Studio Gel. I'm going to mix that with a little bit of Dahlia to get his mouth colour. Realising it's a little bit too light, so I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to add a little bit of black to the red, mix it in, and then I'm going back over it to darken up the mouth. Mixing a little bit of white with the peony, I'm going to do the tongue and the little line down the middle with a darker shade. Then using the Studio Gel in Jet Black, I'm going to start outlining the whole thing. This has got to be my favourite part of doing these designs. It's doing the outlines, it's when it really starts to pop and look real. I wish I had, looking back at it now, I wish I had dropped the trousers a little bit and made his belly hang out a little bit more. But anyway, it still looks like Patrick Star, so I'm quite happy. Completely forgot to outline his legs, so I'm doing that now, and then I'm adding the little spots that are all over his body, and I'm using Dahlia, the darker peachy colour for that. And then I'm going in with Destiny, a purpley blue colour for the flowers on his trousers. Flash cure that, and then I'm going to do some finishing touches, fix up the little band around his waist, and then I do outline the flowers as well. I know he doesn't have them outlined, but I wanted to. And then I'm going to pop him in my big lamp for a full cure, and then I'm ready to top coat him using the Extreme Shine Top Coat by the gel bottle. Pop him in the lamp for his last final cure at 60 seconds, and there we have him. Next up we have Squidward, so I'm going to use Daisy, which is just a white, to outline his full body. So I'm starting with the head, working my way down, just kind of finding shapes and kind of plotting it out. Keeping the outlines really thin so that I can paint over them and not have any bumps. Flash cure for 10 seconds, and then I'm dispensing some ball gown onto my palette, and I'm also mixing some of that with white, which is going to be the colour of his body. Following the outlines, I'm just going to fill everything in. Flash cure him for 10 seconds, and then I'm going to go in with the jet black, mix that with the ball gown, and use that to do his kind of outlines or shadows on his face that really add to his characteristics. Flash cure that for 10 seconds, and then I'm going to mix some Clueless together with white for his eyeballs. I'm just painting on 2 round circular shapes, making them bigger as I need to, and then I'm cutting into that with my cleanup brush for the eyelids. Next, I'm mixing Caramel together with Clueless, as well as Papaya, the Studio Gel, and I think I added a little bit of white as well for his t-shirt colour. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all that in, and then I'm going to flash cure that for 10 seconds. He's got some funky shadowing or wrinkles or whatever going on his t-shirt, so I'm going in with a darker colour just to kind of create that illusion. Flash cure that, and then I just start to outline him. Looking back at this now, I wish I had maybe changed the colour of the ombre in the background, not realising obviously at the time that his t-shirt was quite yellowish and the yellow was potentially going to clash with the yellow, but anyway, here we are. I suppose it's not too bad, but it is something that would have changed had I noticed that at the time. And can I just point out, my god, was this tiny area to work on. While it looks massive on video, it was so bloody tiny, and I had a hellish of a time trying to get these eyes right, so I keep going back about a million times to change and fix. But there goes his pupils, and I am now painting the kind of insides of his hands and adding finishing touches, including his little darker spots. And that's Squidward ready for his full cure, and then we're going to top coat him again using using the Extreme Shine top coat by the Joe bottle, and we're going to cure him for 60 seconds. Moving on to SpongeBob now, I'm going to map out top of his head to the bottom, the shirt, the pants, the legs. Flash cure that for 10 seconds and then I'm going to mix Clueless together with Studio Gel and Papaya, and that will be the colour for his sponge or head, body? Not too sure. Anyway, we're going to do the square and I'm going to do the edges kind of wiggly, and then I'm going to cure that and do a second coat. I did sort of overlap my initial square shape just to make him a little bit bigger. Fully cure that for 60 seconds in the big lamp, and then I'm going to do the shirt, and then I'm going to flash cure that before I do the trousers so the two colours don't bleed together. I'm using caramel for the trousers. Flash cure that, and then little yellow bits for a little bit of his leg showing. Flash cure, then I'm going to do white for his socks. And flash cure, and then I've switched up here. I've went ahead and done the black outline now. Flash cure that, and then I'm going in with Blue Steel and Candy Studio Gels for the little lines on his socks, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the shoes as well. I'm going to paint on his tie using white just to map out where it's going to go and to block out the brown colour, and then I'm going to cure it and paint over it with Candy. Going to flash cure that for 10 seconds, and then I'm able to outline his tie and then do the little collar. How cute is that? Then I'm just mapping out his eyes, making them bigger till they feel like they're right, and then I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to go in with a little blob of the Clueless for his nose just to again map it out where it's going to go, cure it, and then start doing the outlines on the eyes and the nose and all the little facial expressions. Facial features, I meant to say. Going to cure that for 10 seconds so the teeth don't bleed into the lips. I can cure that, and then I'm going to outline the teeth. And then look at his little lashes! Flash cure that, and then I'm going to do a little touch up there, and then I'm going in with Blue Steel, mixing that with a little bit of porcelain, and I'm going to do his little eyes with that. I keep going from one place to another, but then I touched up the shoes there, and then do the irises, and clearly I wasn't happy there, so I changed the eye a little bit and just doing some final touches. Then I'm adding caramel to the SpongeBob yellow and adding a little bit of black just to kind of dull it down a bit for his little sponge holes. I'm just plotting them all over his body, and then I'm adding his little sleeve and his little chin and cheek. Some more finishing touches, and then I completely forgot about the little lines that are on his trousers, so I'm doing them just now. And then lastly I'm going to make his trouser legs a little bit darker as well, because obviously he's square, so it's going to cast a shadow. Cure that in a big lamp for 60 seconds, and then he is ready to be top coated. Fully cure that for 60 seconds in a big lamp, and there he is. And there he is in comparison to the little practice one that I did off camera. I much prefer the second try. The proportions and the details is just so much better. I'm mixing together Kale and Blue Steel for Plankton's body. I'm starting by putting a little blob down, like a microscopic cucumber if you like, and building him up as big, well, as small as I can manage to do him with all his features. Giving him little legs and arms and his little antennas on his head, for which I've mixed Kale with the jet black. Picking up Clueless with my dotting tool, I'm giving him his eye, cure, and add an orange iris, cure, and add a reflection. Mixing some red with black for the inside of his mouth. Going to cure that, and then we're going to give him some pearly whites, aka teeth. I think that's a very British saying. But next I'm going in with the tiniest ever tongue, cure that, and then I'm going to add some detailing on his antenna and around his mouth before I go ahead and outline the full thing. Now let me just say, this was on a whole new level of teeny tiny nail art, but I must admit I really enjoyed the challenge and I think he turned out super cute. Just look at the teeny tiny little teeth going in now, and lastly the eyebrow, which adds total character. I'm going to cure that, and then I'm dispensing some of the peony gel polish on my palette, but then I end up doing the Clueless yellow flower first. I'm doing the yellow flower against the lilac background for a nice bit of contrast, and then I go in with the peony flower up above over the light pink. I'm going to flash cure that so I don't make any boo-boos. Next I'm mixing porcelain together with double denim, which matches the index ombre, and I'm going to do the third flower. And there we have our plankton nail. I am going to fully cure that in the big lamp, and then I'm going in with the top coat. And honestly, I think this might actually be my favourite nail out of the lot. I just think the flowers against the ombre are so effective, and of course, little plankton is adorable. Last but not least, we're going to do Gary the snail. I'm going to just do an outline using, I think I just picked up like porcelain, just something light, just to give me a rough guide. So here I am sketching him out, just roughly. Going to flash cure the outlines, and then I'm going in with sea light for his body. Is it body? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to fill all that in, and then I'm going to flash cure that, and then I'm going to do the second coat. I'm not going to lie, I have just been on Google and I have been researching the anatomy of a snail. I swear I'm learning tons doing this YouTube thing. Using Pavilion Garden mixed with Clueless and a little hint of white, I'm going to do Gary's muscular foot, and then I'm using the same colour for his eyeballs. Flash cure that, and then I'm going to mix a bit of candy with Clueless for the iris. I'm going to just dot that on. Then I'm mixing together candy with jet black for his mouth. Next I'm mixing together peony with some white to make a kind of peachy light pink, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint Gary's shell in with that. I'm going to cure that and then go in with a second coat. Full cure in the big lamp, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the outlines. I had some trouble here with the hold on, what do you call it? The upper tentacles. So you do see me cleaning up quite a lot here and going back and redoing it. I'm just doing all the finishing touches now, including the outlines for the eyes, and not to be forgotten that the irises. Flash cure that. Then I'm mixing together the pink of Gary's shell together with candy red, and that clearly wasn't dark enough, so I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to go in with more candy mixed with a bit of black this time, and this obviously is doing the job now. Next I'm mixing together porcelain with Destiny for the little spots that he has on his back. And then to finish this nail, I'm going to go ahead and do some flowers. So I'm using Blue Wave for the lilac, which I've used throughout the nails, and then I'm going to go in with the Clueless for the yellow flower. Fully cure that, and then we're ready for our top coats. My initial plan was to have Gary kind of sideways along the nail. I'm glad I didn't end up doing that because I feel like it would have looked a bit odd compared to the other nails, so I'm really happy with the way this nail turned out as well. You'll be pleased to hear this is the last time I'm going to say pop that in a lamp for a cure. And here we have the finished nails. Let me know in the comments below which nail you liked the most, or who is your favourite character. Was it Gary the snail? Was it Patrick the starfish? Was it Squidward? Or was it SpongeBob SquarePants? Or did you like Plankton? I think my favourite one must be the Plankton one, but I enjoyed doing all of them and I would love to do more of these kinds of videos. Definitely challenged myself and I really enjoyed every aspect of it. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay tuned with my future videos. Until next time, bye!